when you're that kid at the end of the line. I just came back from this trip we had at school, and I learned 3 core lessons that literally changed my life today. Honestly, like these 3 lessons I know will just give you so much value in your life. So I just wanted to share them with you, right? So I woke up, I got dressed, I got, dressed in my school uniform. I got all of the things ready for the trip in my backpack, and everything's ready, right? I go downstairs, right? Get into the car with my mom. She drives me to school, and I get into school, right? And I see, everyone's talking about the trip. Everyone's in their own little circle, right? And I'm walking, alone. So they call everyone in my year, so everyone in year 11, right? So they call everyone in year 11 to stand in line, right? And get in front of the school gate where the buses are, so we can go to the trip. And there's this long line, right, of everyone standing, all of year 11, like so many people, right? Like maybe like 150 people. And I am that kid at the back of the line. This is the first lesson, is you have to be that kid at the end of the line. Every single successful person in all of history was that kid at the end of the line. And of course, this is just an analogy. But what I mean by being the kid at the end of the line is being the kid who can't relate to anyone, being the kid who no one understands, who no one relates to, right? And it's crazy, man. Like, I remember when I was standing there, and the more I try to talk to the people in front of me, the more I feel like an outsider. The more you try to fit in, the more you try to be like other people, the more you feel like an outsider. Chris Williamson has this thing which is like, admit it, like you're not like them. You're not like them. And the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider, the more you feel that you're different than everyone else, the more you try to fit in. Because you just feel like, hey man, these people don't understand anything about me. I can't relate to their problems at all. They have no ambition, they have no drive, they have no dreams. And especially, bro, if you are on self-improvement, you want to become the best version of yourself, you want to achieve every single goal you have ever dreamed of in this life, you're gonna be misunderstood by everybody. Like, no one will understand you. And guess what? That is the single greatest sign that you're on the right path. Because, like, if this was not even like that far off, like if this was like a year ago, like if this was 1 or 2 years ago, I would have been like, no, I have to fit in, I have to make everyone like me, right? And this is a problem I still feel it even right now. Even when I was standing at the back of the line, I had a bit of that. I want people to like me, I want to be liked by everyone, but just the more you grow, the less you fit in with other people, and the less you really relate to other people. And I just had this, internal conflict, right? And I have this so many times, and I know, like if you're on self-improvement, you probably experience the exact same thing, where you have this internal conflict, which is like, do I fit in, or do I do my own things, and do I follow my own path, and do I just be alone and do my own thing? And I have this internal conflict even right now, but really, when I was standing at the back of that line, man, I just remembered, I just remembered that clip from Tyrese Gibson, that very old clip, which is like, where he goes like, stop trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. I am weird. I am that weird kid. I am that kid who no one understands. And guess what? I don't want you to get it. I don't want you to get it. I don't want you to understand me. It's like a pyramid, You go up, you go even more alone. And the more you go up, the more you get better, the more you grow, the more alone you get, the more alone you get, the more alone you get. until you become successful. And when you become successful, then you have people you relate to. Then you have people who have your back, who are like your true friends, who are on the same path as you. When you reach success, right? Because then you have people who actually relate to you. Then you have people who actually are like you. But anyone who has done anything of meaning in this life has gone through the exact chapter that me and you are going through, and it's the lonely chapter. It's that chapter where you don't relate to anyone. No one understands you. Everyone, you're being misunderstood by everyone. Everyone's like, chill out, man, chill out. No, you're going too far, you're going too hard. But these people, they'll never understand you. And guess what? We don't want them to understand us. We don't want them to relate to us. Like, you are in such a minority of people. You are so rare. It's insane. So let me continue the story. I know I went on a bit of a rant, right? But I get into, they separate us into like different classes, right? So this is like class A, class B, class C, and I'm still at the back of the line of my class, right? But anyways, everyone gets into their bus. So every class gets into their bus, and I'm climbing, I'm walking to the bus, and I'm getting up the stairs, and I'm when you look at all the seats and you don't know where to sit. So I sit down in my seat, and I'm just thinking, right? All these people around me are making noise, and this bus is like filled. A bus holds like 50 people. 50 people in a bus. And this is the second lesson, which is the path to success is very lonely. The simplest example is a bus holds 50 people, but a Lamborghini, only 2 people get it. And I remember, bro, like, I'm in that bus and everyone's, shouting, and, everyone's being like degenerate and whatever, and there's like loud music playing. And I'm just thinking, man, when I come back, I'm gonna record this video. When I come back, I'm gonna, meditate and journal. I'm gonna, work out. And then I'm gonna read at night. And then I'm gonna finish my schoolwork. And I'm just goal focused, right? And everyone else around me is just being degenerate and clubbing. I love this example, actually. Like, if we visualize this as a race, as like a race, and everyone has their vehicle, right? And everyone is in buses. Everyone is riding a bus because everyone is doing what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is chasing, college degrees and going to school and going to a system that's outdated and doesn't even work and puts you in massive debt. Everyone follows what everyone else is doing. Everyone is obese. Everyone is broke. Everyone has poor relationships. Everyone has poor health. And the thing is, most people are in buses. Most people do what other people do. But the thing is, no one wants what other people have. No one wants what the average person has, right? We know this. But most people are in buses, right? If we imagine this like a race, right? Everyone is in a bus. Because everyone's scared of doing their own thing. Everyone's scared of, being themselves and following their own path and becoming the best version of themselves. As much as it hurts, right? Because, I'm a social animal, right? Me and you were social animals, right? But I love it. I love it because, you're special. You're rare. You're in the top 1%. You're doing something that literally 99% of other people don't do, and straight up will never do in their entire lifetime. Which is get better. Which is improve. Which is become the best version of themselves. So everyone is in buses, and you, my friend, you're in a race car. You're in the best race car ever, like the fastest, best race car ever, right? And that's self-improvement. That race car is self-improvement. So you're in your race car, and everyone is in their buses, and the race starts, and the buses are very slow, and you just take off. You're flying. Your race car just flies through all these people, and you're so fast, right? It's just extremely fast. You're holding on the steering wheel, and everyone is, trying to catch up with their buses, right? But the buses are way too slow for you. But the thing is, you realize, hey, you look right, you look left, you don't see anyone. There's only one seat in the race car, and that's it for you. Everyone's in their little buses, in the back. You see them in the rear view mirror. And the more you just keep going, you keep going. But you always question yourself, man, do I just hit the brakes? Do I just go back and just get in one of these buses, get in with other people and do what other people are doing? Man, I don't know even if I'll get to the destination, right? I don't even know if I'll get there. I don't even know if I'll reach there. But you keep going, you keep pushing the gas pedal. And the more the time passes, the more you just question yourself. Man, will I ever make it? I don't even know if I'm going right. I don't even know if the destination is there. But you just know, if you just keep going, you will get there. And the more you think, hey, do I just go back? The more you think, hey, no. I want to get to my dreams. And you keep going, and you keep going, and keep going. And you see those buses where everyone else is keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you get there. You reach your dreams. You get all the health you wanted. You're jacked, right? You're of all the health you've ever wanted, all the relationships you've ever wanted, all the money you've ever wanted, all of the beautiful feminine women you've ever wanted. Your future wife is there, your children is there. All the knowledge you wanted, the man you wanted to become is there. And all your friends, all the people around you, they got older and older and older, and they're still in their buses, arching their back. They're exhausted, right? And they're scrolling on social media. And they see you. They see you've made it. They see you've reached the place they've been wasting all their life trying to reach, but they couldn't. Because they were too scared of what other people would think. They were too scared to get in their own race car. They were too afraid of what other people would think. And they're just mouth breathing, and they see you. And they remember when they hated on you getting in your race car. They remember when they hated on you getting on your helmet. Nah, man, you're a loser. You don't want to be with us in our bus. We have loud music, bro. We have all this, food. All this junk food in our bus, you don't want to be with us? You don't want to be with us? You don't want to party in our bus? And they see you just focused. And they see it together, right? That's the kid we used to make fun of in the race car. And you've made it. And it hits them so hard because they know that they never will. So yeah, I actually just created that story right now. But it's such a good analogy, man. You're in a race car, everyone else is in a bus, right? So let me go back to my story, right? So I'm in the bus and we're going on this, long trip, and the bus driver is driving, and it's a long trip, right? We're going on. So I'm in the bus, just laying there eating my food and whatever, and we get there. We reached it, and I see the 3 pyramids, and I see the Grand Egyptian Museum, right? And this is where our trip was to, the Grand Egyptian Museum. And I see it, and I'm just fascinated, man, because I'm from Egypt. I'm Egyptian. I'm just fascinated from what I see, the 3 pyramids, and we get into the museum. We see everything. And I see all the art, all the gold, artifacts and all the beauty, and the museum is just massive. You know, there's so many things, and I'm just mind blown by all these, you know, strong people. You know, these are like my ancestors, man. The pharaohs are like my ancestors. These strong people who built, who sacrificed, who worked hard, who sacrificed everything for me to be alive. And this is not just for like Egyptians, right? This is just because I'm Egyptian. But if you're British, you know, the British people, they sacrificed everything for you to be in one of the best places on earth. Britain, England, London, the British Empire. It's the most powerful empire in history. You know, if you're American, you know, people like Ben Franklin, George Washington, you know, Abe Lincoln, these American heroes, these American presidents, they sacrificed everything for you to be American, for you to live in a country where there is no racism, where there is political stability, where there is economic prosperity, where there is the dollar. Right? If you're from Italy, for example, you know, the Roman Empire was the most powerful empire in the entire world. People like Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, right? Like powerful, strong, masculine men created through hard times. You know, if you're from Greece, you know, people like Alexander the Great, people like Socrates, philosophers like Aristotle, right? These Greek heroes, they sacrificed everything for you to be in Greece. No matter where you're from, bro, like if you're African, if you're Middle Eastern, you know, if you're Eastern European, Western European, if you're from, you know, North America, South America, if you're Canadian, if you're Indian, if you're Australian, no matter where you're from, the point I'm trying to make is there were hard, very, very hard times in your country's history that created strong people, and those strong people built your country. They built the place you're in. They built everything for you. They gave you a roof over your head. They gave you food. They gave you water. Don't you want to be like these people? Don't you want to be like these people? Like when I look at the pharaohs, man, I want to be like the pharaohs. And bro, even if you're from like a third world country that no one knows about, don't you want to be the first legendary person from that place? You know, like for example, no disrespect honestly, but like for example Austria, right? Like no one really knew about Austria. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, like if you've read that man's autobiography, it's amazing. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was born in literally the hardest times ever. Like he was born in the times of World War II. In Austria, you know, next to Germany, like in literally the hardest time and the hardest place. And look what he became. The greatest bodybuilder of all time. One of the best actors of all time. You know, look what he did in politics, like a legendary human being. Don't you want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Don't you want to be like David Goggins, like Alex Hormozi, like Patrick Bet-David? You know, actually, Alex Hormozi and Patrick Bet-David are both Iranian Americans. They both have Iranian heritage. And Iran, man, if you're Iranian, like you have such a deep historic roots, man. Like you have, like King Darius, the King of Kings, man. He had all of Asia for himself. Like Persian Empire, man. It was one of the most powerful empires in history. And King Darius actually went face to face to Alexander the Great. My point is, you know, no matter where you're from, you can become legendary. You can become like one of the greatest people of all time. You can etch your name in history. You can write your name in history. You can do it. I'm gonna end with this. Do you want to be like everyone else? Do you want to be broke, poor health, poor relationships? dumb, honestly, have no knowledge, haven't learned anything, haven't done anything in their lives, always saying, oh, I'm gonna die anyways? Or do you want to accomplish every single thing you want to accomplish out of life? Do you want to achieve every single ounce of potential in you? Do you want to write your name in history or be like everyone else? And I promise you, if you keep doing the things you're doing every single day for a long enough period of time, you will make it. You will make it. And it's not an if, it's not a maybe, it's just a matter of time. And as always, we're in this together and we will make it.